Today on the channel, back again with another San Diego Comic-Con 2025 recap, and today we obey our masters with Masters of the Universe via Mondo and Mattel. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with another San Diego Comic-Con 2025 recap, and today we're talking all things Masters of the Universe. Going to discuss what I saw out there at San Diego Comic-Con along with my thoughts along the way. An interesting showing for Masters of the Universe this year. Of course, we know next year we do got the big movie coming out. Have to imagine next year San Diego Comic-Con should be very heavy on Masters. However, the movie is coming out for San Diego Comic-Con, so I don't know. But they did show off some props like the Havoc staff and the Power Sword from the movie. But I have to say, all things as far as Masters, at least with Mattel, felt dialed back a little bit over prior years. A little bit less space on the convention floor. Jurassic Park seemingly got a little bit more space, and maybe that's because of the movie being out right now and all the toy lines. I'm not sure, but there was some ebbs and flows there I did notice. So it was interesting. And then, of course, Mondo, you know, they're living that Masters life, so they're a little bit all over the place. And I guess that's where we'll start. We'll start with Mondo. That'll be quick. Then we'll get into the Mattel stuff, and we'll go through what I saw and some of my opinions along the way, including the new crowdfunder Snake Lair. Going to be a tough one, and we'll dive into that here. But we're going to Mondo. We're going 2000X, of course. We're going to the smaller size figures. Now, to me, Mondo, I always think of the gigantic 112 style, but we're going to the 1/6 style ones. Very, very cool figures. Man, oh man, looked absolutely amazing in person. However, to me, I don't know how that price point is going to work. It sounds like they're going to be like $105 is what people are kind of saying out there on the show floor a piece. That's a lot, but I guess it's less than half of a normal large size figure. So I guess you try to do the math in your head a little bit, but there's so many things coming at us all the time. It's hard to keep up with all these things, and it's hard to dive into lines like this when each figure is $100. I don't know. We'll have to see where that one goes. I want to be all in, but not sure I can be at that price point, especially with some of the Mattel news, and we'll get to that here in a second. But starting off, they showed a grayscale render of Skeletor. I mean, all this Mondo stuff looks amazing. Their figures are absolutely amazing. Breathtaking figures, whatever scale it is. They're just an expensive price point, and that comes with that, and it comes with the small runs, as we know. The Skeletor looking really cool. Got a cool base with him. Got the Havoc staff. You got the sword. All the Skeletor bells and whistles from 2000X. The one that really blew me away and the most impressive 2000X figure I did see on the show floor, I felt was the Clawful Man. Big bad. Got that big lobster claw going on. Looks absolutely amazing. It sounds like available September 2025 on him too. So we'll see that here in the future. And then, of course, you got to have He-Man. Looks amazing. These figures all look amazing. I want to get in so bad. I just don't know if the wallet's going to support this one here. It's going to be a game time decision. If it is, you guys know the Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters from Mondo. I'm so regretful not getting that line, but you can only get so much. That's just the way it goes. We're all there. We all have a line or lines we want to collect that we just can't do it. There's only so many finances to go around, and top and bottom, you won't believe. I leave for San Diego and I come back and my whole house is falling apart. There's like a coil needs replaced in the AC unit. I've got the garage door now needs replaced apparently, so I got to pay all that kind of stuff. And then the washer and dryer, of course, you got them at the same time. So why wouldn't they both go out at the same time? So now I need a new washer and dryer apparently. The heating element's going out, and then there's something, I don't know. Quite the rigmarole and a lot of expenses after a very expensive San Diego Comic-Con trip. You come back to all this, and it's like, okay, well, you got to pick and choose. And unfortunately, I got to keep laundry going over getting some He-Man figures, I think is unfortunate. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that decision yet. We might stop doing laundry here. We might just wear all of our shirts a couple times, and once they get real bad, we just throw them away. And that's how you'll recycle some stuff. I don't know what we'll do. We'll do it. But He-Man looking really, really good there. We got Man-at-Arms, a classic one. As I get older in life, I respect Man-at-Arms more and more. He wasn't my favorite. I always respected the Man-at-Arms, but now he's probably my favorite character. Love to see him represented in this line as well. And then we move over to the big boy edition, the big ones here, and I'm not sure exactly what to do with this one. We do got She-Ra and Swiftwind. Of course, Scareglow was there at the Mondo booth last year, and they even gave one away at the Mondo panel. Don't get me started on that Mondo panel shenanigans. I was so fired up. I was telling Nolan and Cameron and Hector and Peter, I was telling them all about it. We were at that YouTubers Unite event, and I was so hot about that Mondo panel. They gave away a bunch of free stuff. I really wanted that Werewolf by Night. Didn't get any of it. It's all right. I'm not worked up about that. But there was this lady next to us. They gave her a scare mirror. It's a whole rigmarole story. That's probably a story for the podcast. But I was so fired up. I was so worked up about that. Stay tuned to the podcast, I guess. We'll maybe dive into that story a little bit more. More appropriate over there, off the beaten path, of course. But we do got Swiftwind and She-Ra. Absolutely look amazing. I look at that Swiftwind. Where am I going to put this? I'm still not sure where to put Scarebear, and he's already sitting up there. He's sitting on my arcade one-up cabinet. He's just sitting on the top of that thing. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Same thing with Swiftwind. Now, if I do get it, I would display it without the wings, but then you're kind of beating the fact of Swiftwind there. And we do got She-Ra, and now one thing they did say in that too was some of the little creatures that come with it. Loki or Loki, not Loki, that's a wrestler. Loki, you know what I mean. There's going to be a Chase edition, like clear edition there. So that makes me even madder about that one there. I don't like these Chase editions. I feel like I need to track that down. I don't know, but if you do get the Chase Clear Edition, you also get the regular edition. So it's just a throw-in if you are lucky enough there. So I'm not a big fan of that. I talked about it with the LJN style black cards with all these posters and stuff. That's not for me, but once again, not everything is for me, and we got to remember that as well. But this She-Ra going up for pre-order in this fall sometime, going to be extremely expensive. We know how these things do work. So I don't know. I want to be all in on this line, but man, it's tough. There's the size of these figures. It's tough for the real estate, as we all do know. And I was never a huge She-Ra guy. Now, I don't mind buying a $20 Origin She-Ra figure or a Masterverse figure, but to step up and pay, $500 for her and Swiftwind, I don't know. I probably need a washer or a dryer over that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, as we do know. But the She-Ra does look good. As usual with these, tons of different looks to move around and mix and match. You guys know how that goes with Mondo. But now we're going to dive over to Masters Universe after our Mondo recap here. We're diving over to it. And I did say a couple of weeks ago, I did get some intel that they're redoing a little bit of the Masterverse in the Origins line, and then, of course, Cartoon Collection. Apparently, King Randor was going to be the final Cartoon Collection. It's going to be a fan channel. I was shocked not to see that on the show floor, so they did not have that at all. They did say, Cartoon Collection's there, but that's one thing I've heard from Mattel over the years is, it's not done. It's on hiatus. It's on ice. It'll come back in the future. We've heard it recently with Street Sharks. You hear it with the Mattel Retros. We never said they were canceled. They were on hiatus. So I think the Cartoon Collection ebbs and flows, lay in the weeds. Maybe do the same tactic we got with Origins, where Origins, it's still there, but it's like 2 Origin figures a year. Let's just complete that Origins lineup and move on. I would like to see that. Same thing with Cartoon Collection. Let's just complete it and move on. But it looks like they're moving a lot of the attention over to 2000X, just like Mondo. So that's where I said, maybe I just get these Mattel ones, a $20, $24 price point compared to a $115 price point. A little bit more better for the wallet. You get 5 figures compared to 1. Not quite the Mondo quality, as we do know, but they do look interesting, and they definitely look like their Origin style as far as articulation, but boy, that's really where it ends. There's some new sculpting here, not a lot of reuse. Obviously reuse for the future, I guess, what we're looking at, but we did see a big old bad Roboto here, of course, like a young Dennis DeYoung is what he looks like right there, but Roboto looking really, really big. I'm going to go through these here. We got Stratos, a classic character, of course, Sean Connery himself. Maybe, maybe not. But looking very good, looking very classic from the 2000 series. Beastman, sign me up all day long. Harry Bipedal Creature, I'm into that, of course. Looking very good. A little skinny, but once again, it's the 2000X. It's not the Filmation. It's not other properties. It's one specific era. Prince Adam, you got to have him as well. Prince Adam always liked this look. I actually like this look better these years later than the Filmation version. Sacrilegious to many, but I do like this Prince Adam look better here. Looks very good there. Skeletor, you got to have him. Of course, you can't have a He-Man line without Skeletor. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in the future here later in this video. Triclops, he's so dastardly. And I forgot to mention earlier, on the Mondo panel, they did announce Triclops coming to the 112 series in the future. So that'll be cool to get him in that collection. But we also got him in the 2000X line as well. And I got some mixed up figures here. Okay, that's it for the Origin style 2000X. Now we're going to go to the Masterverse, and we're getting a few heavy hitters that have been missed for a while that we're getting added in here. We do got Mantenna, of course, from the Horde. Very cool. Looks very, very cool. Updated there. I do like the looks of that figure. A favorite figure of mine. Always a weird looking one. Looks really good. We've had him in other properties. Speaking of that, we do got a Mosquito coming to the Masterverse. You got to think they moved that up there for old Pixel Dan. And I'd seen Pixel Dan before. I've never actually spent time with him, but I had a good probably half-hour conversation with Pixel Dan and me. Maybe we'll hook up in the future here around his new book and stuff. Maybe a few things with that, but had a long, nice talk with Pixel Dan. So shout out to Pixel Dan out there. A great guy in person. Had a long talk with him. So we do got that coming, the old Pixel Dan tribute figure right there. Just like Jazzware's coming out with those Rio figures for me, Todd McFarlane. We know how it goes. Maybe, maybe not. We did see Masters Universe New Eternia Cobra Khan, another classic one there. Everybody loves their snake people, of course. Probably the Masterverse figure I'm most excited about, though, is the Anti-Eternia He-Man. Always love that. It's an easy repaint with new accessories, some new stuff. I'm here for that one. It's dangerous to go blackface, especially here in 2025, but He-Man finds a way to do it without any repercussions. So shout out to He-Man, cheating the system or something. I don't know what he's doing, but does look really good. I'm here for that one there. Looks like we've got another Keldor coming, a little bit of a mishmash there. Not familiar with this version, but anytime you get the Skeletor kind of crazy face plus the old school Keldor face, you know I'm here for that. Dragster looking good. That was one I wasn't expecting from Masterverse. Almost looks like a Transformer. And we'll talk Transformers here in a second with our He-Man, which I never thought I'd be saying that all these years later. We also got a Adora here, right here. It's a little bit of the Horde version. I think a little mix mash, a 2-in-1 figure. How about that? We got that one coming. Actually, that one is part of the Origins 2000X. So we do got more 2000X here. Just had my figures a little jumbled up there. I guess we're going to dance around is what we're going to do. We do got the classic He-Man 2000X. Of course, just like Skeletor, you can't not have He-Man in the collection. We got He-Man coming right there. Man-at-Arms. Oh, man, sign me up right there. I love that mustache. Give me that mustache. What? It's time to get rid of the beard and just go mustache. I don't know if can I pull that off? I might have to stop trimming for a while and get it whimsical like I used to have. But, man, mustaches, I'm here for them. I'm here for them. We do got Zodak, of course, the 2000X Zodak, a little bit more cosmic, always feeling, in my opinion, there. But he looks pretty good as well. And then we got some big beefy boys. You know I'm here for those big beefy boys all day. Beastman looking good. He's got his whip. Oh, don't hit me, Beastman. He's got his whip ready to go. And then we got Clawful once again. We just talked about the Mondo one. Now we got the Clawful and the 2000X looking very good. And of course, we got Evil Lynn. Not to be confused with my daughter, Emma Lynn. Very similar, though. Both very evil. I can tell you that much right there. But we got Evil Lynn coming in hot as well. And then we did get a special one, which I believe is going to end up being an exclusive to Mattel Creations. Very cool. I love it's almost like a Clawful mashup in a lot of ways too. Like Stingor, I believe a made up character for this. So we're really dancing that Origins line out there, dancing it, dragging it out, dragging it along. But I got to say, he does look really good. I am here for that. Dancing back over to the Masterverse once again. We got to dance over to the Masterverse. It is Beastman, Mossman coming in. Once again, I love a hairy bipedal creature. You guys know that. 2 Mossman reveals at San Diego. Man, they're playing all the hits for me. Mosquito for Pixel Dan and Mossman for me. But it is one of those deluxe Masterverse figures. It's got to be a Mattel Creations exclusive. I'm here for that one. Looking very, very nice as well. But that wasn't it from He-Man. This one came out of left field. It's the classic Castle Grayskull is what this is, and it looks to be an Amazon exclusive. Very interesting. It shows on Amazon shipping January 6th, just missing Christmas. Have to imagine that's going to get moved up for Christmas. It makes all the sense in the world. I like the cloth playmat that lays down. Obviously, it's Reuse City, $125. A little bit expensive, but you do get the robot enforcer. We'll call him the enforcer of Castle Grayskull. We do have him included in that, plus all the usual stuff. Available at Amazon right now. So if you're looking for a Castle Grayskull up on Amazon, dive into it, if you will. Still not really sure what to think about that one. I like the idea, but I didn't really need another Castle Grayskull. But I do technically have 2 Castle Grayskulls on display. I kind of have them together to make it look bigger. I'm probably going to remove one of those and then add this one to it. That's how I'm going to justify it in my mind, at least. And of course, you can play the long game. Might go on clearance in the future. So remember that as well. Then moving into one of the sublines here, we did get the Thundercats Masters Universe crossover. We didn't really see anything new. We saw Series 2 in here, and we've unboxed Series 1 on the channel. Check out the unboxings. But I am absolutely shocked we didn't see more of this line here. That seemed to be the big line that was up and coming. Is this it? Are they dialing it back? Is it done after this? That's going to be pretty devastating if it's only 2 waves. I'd like to get at least 4 waves, at least get the classic characters out there. We'll see what happens, though. Very interesting to see, and not a lot of talk about that there. I will say I did miss the panel for Masters Universe 2, so I'm sure there was some info, some nuggets in there that I missed out on. They did a bad job of promoting that one, and I don't know if they just were late to the party. They didn't get a panel room. They had to do it on the show floor, so that's always a little bit suspect. It's a little bit more difficult to pay attention to, get around to, and that kind of stuff. So your mileage may vary, of course. And now, speaking Transformers, this one came out of left field to me, and we've talked about it in our other videos recapping San Diego Comic-Con. All these companies, it's about synergy, it's about crossovers, it's about scratching each other's back, it's about the business hat on our heads. And we're seeing that with Series 1 of the Masters Universe Transformers crossover. Very cool. They were in the Mattel booth and they were in the Hasbro booth. I thought that was a good idea as well. But it's going to be Skeletor as Megatron and Man-at-Arms as Bumblebee. An interesting Series 1. To me, I would have went with Skeletor and He-Man in Series 1. Get the 2 heavy hitters out there. You're going to get your most sales out of those. So that tells retail, that tells everything. Mattel Creations, whatever. Get you the majority of your sales right up. And now you're left hoping there's going to be a Series 2. And what if this doesn't sell at all? What if it doesn't translate? More on that in a second. Then what happens? Is it failed? You just stuck with a Bumblebee Man-at-Arms and a Skeletor Megatron? That feels so unfinished. Be interested to see where that one goes. But to me, I love Transformers. I love Masters. Does not work for me. Very similar to the Turtles of Grayskull. I was into it because I like both, but it felt very forced for me. This kind of feels forced as well. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to have these guys as action figures. I feel like with the Transformers crossover, it should be a Battle Cat or the Wind Raider or whatever Masters vehicle Transformer with a Transformer figure. I would have seen Wind Raider Man or something. I don't know, but it feels just strange, feels a little forced. It feels a little bit like a cash grab to me. As of right now, I'm out on this. They're like $30-some a piece. I like it. I want to like it, but I want to like it a lot more to put my money down, and you got to pick and choose. I learned that the last couple of years here. You can't collect everything as much as you want to. I talked about the Mondo stuff earlier. This is one of those ones where I'm probably going to pass. However, if these go to a cheap clearance, there's a deal or something, I might jump in. Part of me wants to do it just to see what they're about, see how fun they are out of the package, but I don't know. I feel like this is a tough sell, and I'm not sure. I should get good friend of the channel, Gage Octane, over here because He-Man and Transformers are his 1 and 2 collections. So you would think this would be everything he would want out of life, but he didn't really send me any messages saying, oh my gosh, my worlds are colliding. So I don't think his excitement is really big on this either. So I'm going to be interested to see where this line goes in the future. I just don't feel it's going to set any worlds on fire, and I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how it ends up going. So a strange mishmash that just misses for me, unfortunately. I'm kind of sick of these mishmashes in all honesty there, and I know I'm not alone in that sentiment. But we continue on, a little bit more to go on Masters. Going to have a Swiftwind She-Ra, of course, 40th anniversary of She-Ra. Makes a lot of sense. A beautiful package right here. This looks so cool. I think I might have to end up getting this one instead of the Mondo one. We'll see what happens. But it does look absolutely amazing. Part of, I guess, the cartoon collection, we'll call it there. But that will be going up this fall sometime on Mattel Creations. Very, very cool. But the most controversy of the weekend from Masters Universe is, of course, the Snake Lair. Last year, they put that Snake Lair out. It didn't go well. We remember the whole rigmarole. People revolted. Put it back out this year. Guess what? People revolting once again. It almost feels like it should just scrap this thing. But it is going to be $300. It is going to be tough to fund. I'm looking at the Snow Cat right now. They're wanting a lot of these to get this funded. I just don't know if it's going to happen. It's cool to get this new creature that you can ride, the Snake Lady. We'll call her Snake Lady. We got her, and then we got that king kind of python. And didn't we see him before some way? Was he with the original Snake Lair? I'm guessing that was the thing. But it's basically dialed back version of the last one, but at the same price, which I guess with the tariffs, I know Todd McFarlane, and all the other rigmarole going around, it makes sense. I guess it's going to be the same price, but dialed back. But it feels like everybody on the floor, everybody on the social media commentary, they just don't know about this one. They don't feel it's going to hit the total funds. A lot of people said, I would pay $300 if I could be guaranteed all this stuff. But if I can't get all this stuff, I'm out. So I can see a lot of people backing this one, and then it's coming up short on the goal. They just cancel their order, and then all of a sudden we're in trouble. So I don't know where this one is going to go. This could be a tough one, especially with all the other crowdfunding stuff. We see the G.I. Joe one struggling right now, which is really strange to me. I haven't checked after San Diego. Today's the first day after San Diego Comic-Con as I'm filming this. I'd be interested to see if it got a San Diego Comic-Con bump. Obviously, down to the last day, you'll see a big bump that day, but will it be enough to get all the tiers? I don't know, but I do know that the lips of collecting community is more on G.I. Joe than He-Man at this point in time, and if G.I. Joe is struggling, have to think He-Man might struggle even more. It's going to be interesting to watch this crowdfund. My gut feels like it's not going to go all the way to the end, which is going to disappoint myself and a lot of other people because it is Snake Lair, which we don't have a nostalgic affliction to, and there's a lot of expensive stuff going on. I heard everybody's having garage door problems these days. That's what I've heard. It's going around. Hey, watch out for it. If it hasn't hit you yet, it could hit you soon. But we'll see where this goes. It's a nice idea. It's a nice concept. I just don't know if it's going to get there. A lot of people down on the design and stuff. It's each person's opinion. I think it looks okay for what it is. But we're missing the vehicle. We're missing some of that stuff. Some of the add-on tiers excite me a little bit more than the Snake Lair, which is interesting as well. But my gut says it's not going to hit. I hope it does. I want everything to be successful, especially properties I enjoy, because that means we get more things like that in the future. But this one's going to be a tough one. We'll see where it goes. And that is it from the Masters of the Universe. Be interested to hear your thoughts on this stuff, especially Snake Lair. I know a lot of Debbie Downers on that one, and most people would say probably rightfully so. But we'll see where it ends up going. There is some exciting stuff. I keep going back to wanting that Mondo, but once again, it's expensive, but you kind of want to get what you like. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Be interested to hear your thoughts on the San Diego Comic-Con Masters of the Universe line. Anything you're extra excited for, anything you're disappointed in, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to both my YouTube channels. Check out my podcast each and every single Tuesday. It is The Kyle Peterson Show for maybe more on that story from the Mondo booth. Ooh, I was hot. We could talk about that one there. But of course, check out the podcast wherever podcasts are found. Video cast on YouTube each and every single Tuesday. It is The Kyle Peterson Show. Sir Paul 64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. Don't forget my TikTok, and don't forget YouTube channel memberships and Patreon to support the channel, and tons of extra bonus content, early content over there. So for Masters of the Universe, San Diego Comic-Con 2025, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.